Wake up, wakey, wakey. I know it's hard to come out. It's so hard to wake up. But you have to do it. You have to wake up. No matter how hard it is. And when I say wake up, I don't mean, oh, let's wake up and start our workday, our chores. No. I mean, really wake up. Really wake up to what's going on. On my journey to healing, I discovered quite a few things, which I'm going to put out in the open. There must be some people out there that can take something away from what I'm sharing. I mean, you're welcome to share your experiences and your thoughts. Nobody does. Unless they need to put you down because, hey, maybe you're too arrogant or whatnot. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. I've grown out of what people care about me. I am showing them who I am, and they are showing me who they are. Before, I was paying attention to the expectations others had of me. But now I am looking at my expectations and how they are regularly, I don't want even to qualify it. It's just that my worst expectations always have been fulfilled. Plentifully. So yes, what I'm talking about when I say wake up is really look at everything in your life as far as you can remember and try to see what happened in your life. You became someone, and you are the someone that you are today. But if you are to go back in time, you will notice, obviously, that there were a lot of changes that you were forced to make in your life, and they were not always for the good, because it's very hard for people to do the good thing. It's so much easier to sink into the swamp, because everybody else does it. Why not do the same? If others lies, cheat, and they seem to do really well in their life, and this is the way to go, why not join the swamp? Well, I'll tell you why not. In my opinion, obviously, it's because you are not here in this 3D world we're living. You are not here for accumulating things. You are here to accumulate knowledge and experience, not things, emotions. Ideally, not hate, not resentment, betrayal, treachery, envy. What else is there? There are so many. They are very low vibrational. And the reason for that is because that's what the swamp needs. You can't offer pearls to a pig. Even though the way this world has been built is a predatory system. And I think that was obviously, I'm pretty certain that was purposely built that way. So people who come in this world, they lose their moral compass. They lose their integrity. They are led to believe that lying is okay and doing whatever it takes to reach your goal is acceptable. Well, within some limits, which are also being constantly treaded over, okay? Because limits, laws are put in place for the little ones. You know, like somebody at the top wants to decide something that, serves their own agenda, they're going to implement that and they will go right ahead and not obey that because that particular legislation, rule, or whatever was not meant for them, was meant for the others to obey and follow blindly, So, when I said wake up, I was talking about waking up to really see what's going on. Ever since I opened my eyes in this world, now in retrospect, thinking about it, analyzing and such, what is very, very obvious to me is that there's this constant war on your mind. Distort the way you see things, okay? And what is the main tool this is being achieved with? Via fear. So you have to stop and wonder, why is that happening? Why is this huge smoke and smoke screen and manipulation and distortion going on? Why is this war constantly happening on your mind? The minute you open, you turn on the TV, you open your news browsers, and you check out what's going on in the world. Like, what you will discover, nothing is really positive, and whatever is presented as being positive is probably a load of crap. Okay, this is good for you because we say so. And unfortunately, there are people who actually believe that. I mean, I was astonished to discover that the majority believes that. This reminds me of something I saw years ago. I walked by a bank that closed and said, for your convenience, we have moved 2 blocks away or 3 blocks away. I can't remember. But it was absolutely ludicrous. For my convenience? I mean, it's obvious that there is power in speaking these words, okay, with which we are being entrapped. We're being, deceived constantly. There is power in words, but there is also power in the words spoken with truth from your heart. This is why there's so much censorship going on, because if people know how to use the words in their power, not just saying something is great when in fact is not. So we're dealing with a lot of manipulation of the words, subliminal messaging, repetitive messages, obviously. We are being experimented on constantly. And the tools are also changing constantly. However, what remains the same is the fact that somebody wants to influence your mind. Okay, why is that happening? I think I know why. I'm just trying to gauge what other people think. I also think that it should be pretty obvious why somebody is going at such great lengths to influence your mind. I don't know, I hope you pondered on this if you made it through thus far. It's because your mind is extremely powerful, people. That's the reason for it. Your mind is powerful. And if somebody gets a hold of your mind, you are a creator. And you're being shown constantly crimes of all sorts, okay? It's because you have the power to bring that into reality even more. So the first thing I learned was to stop listening to pretty much everybody, because I needed to listen to myself, to my own heart, to what I perceive to be truth. Truth is powerful. And that is why there's this huge fight to hide it. Because once the truth comes out, the castle built from coupons is falling. So the takeaway for today, even though I have no subscribers, I'm just putting this out into the universe. There are other channels of communications that we are not totally aware they exist. That's part of the hidden truth, right? I'm just still going to put this out, even though I sense that I am being shadow banned. It's okay, even though this is not hitting the 3D way, is reaching out. Those people who still have their moral compass, they still have their integrity. We are not all tainted, and that is the problem, and that is why we are being divided more and more and more. So your mind is very powerful. Start looking at the relationships you have. I cut out all my so-called friends. I always tolerated. I always found excuses for them. But in the end, I looked at the balance, because that's what it is. It has to be a balance, a give and take type of thing. We live in a society where taking is expected for some odd reason. And that's why we are in a strong imbalance. Our society is crumbling precisely because common sense is gone. People lost their courage. People gave their power away. So I was saying that I cut out all my friends from my life. And that was because I noticed there was a trend of me being used and abused and not receiving anything. And that didn't bother me at first. But when I noticed that this process kept on going, even though I was depleted and at the end of my wits. Their self-interest was more important than me surviving. So I guess the proverbial survival mode kicked in. And I no longer feel guilty if I cannot extend a helping hand when I am in serious need myself. Because in order to be able to help someone else, you need to be in that position. And this constant false self-sacrifice concept that's being thrown at us by people who are selfish. However, they feel that they can guilt you into feel as being selfish. That hypocrisy cannot stand anymore. We need to lead by example. We need people who lead by example. They walk the talk. I know it sounds unachievable, but that is only because we have been constantly manipulated and our sense of reality warped so bad that we no longer care about anything other than what's in the bank account, what possessions we have, where we go out for holidays and that type of stuff. We're not here to stay. Anything you gather in here, and I perfectly understand, we need a roof over our head, and we need to eat, we need to do so many things, but that's the thing, it has been built that way. So you do not have that time to yourself to think, why are you here? And to realize you're not here to procreate, just to bring more little slaves into this mad, corrupted, despicable system. Okay? Remember that your mind is powerful, and take that power away. Instead of listening to horrors, look at those things that bring you joy, the smallest of things. And do not be afraid. The universe sees you, sees who you are, and whatever you're projecting into the world is going to come back to you. As long as you keep your moral compass, you stay away from the swamp the best way you can. I love you all. Take care.